Hello, and welcome back to Jollyroger Hobbies. Today I'm going to answer a question I get from a lot of people, friends, people that never heard of it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But the question is, what is geocaching? Well, first, let me answer another question. What is a geocache? So let's separate that. We'll take away the geo and just a cache. What is a cache? Well, most people think cache is this. Or, yeah, that's a cache. No, you can't have it. But what a cache is, a geocache, cache is a container. If you are a computer guy, lady, then you know a cache is where you put your temporary files, where that stuff goes into. Maybe you've heard a cache of weapons. It's basically a container with weapons in it, or a box, or a lot of. But simply, a cache is a container. Now, cache is C-A-C-H-E, not C-A-S-H. Remember, not cache, cache. C-A-C-H-E. Now, geo is for basically location, a geocache. So what it is, a geocache can be any container whatsoever. They range from ammo boxes, 5-gallon drums are some of the largest caches I've ever seen. And they go all the way down to a nano. These nanos are really small. And you have your log inside. And they're magnetic. Nanos are. But not all caches are magnetic. In fact, most are not. Now, different types. Here's a little barbecue. How about a simple magnetic key holder? That can be a geocache. Most common types are pill bottles. A lot of times they'll put camouflage on it. Pill bottles and film canisters, 35mm film canisters, are the most common type of cache you'll find. Another common one is called a bison tube. And it's just a little tube. This is a micro size, so what a pill bottle or film canister is a micro size. These are, of course, nano size. They have another container here. This would be considered on the small size. Believe it or not, this is considered a small size. The next size up is large. I think it's large. Which is your ammo cans, and if it doesn't, and also the 5-gallon bucket, if it doesn't have extra large, which I don't think it does. So, those are your different types of caches. Now again, what's a cache? So, a geocache, or geocaching, is where somebody hides a container in the woods. It might even be at your local Walmart. Outside, of course. Could be put on a generator somewhere. Who knows? There are almost 2 million caches hidden worldwide on all 7 continents, including Antarctica. Now, to find these caches, go on to www.geocaching.com, and I'll place that link in the description. It's free to join. You get on there, and then you can, once you put your profile, then you can put your location, where you live, and it will give you a list of caches near you within up to a 50-mile radius. I live in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Here in Cheyenne, I think there's about 100, we'll take 100 caches in a 25-mile radius around the city. About a dozen of them are mine. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Now, to find this, you need a GPS. You can use a handheld GPS like this Garmin. This is a just a regular handheld GPS what we consider hiking or outdoors with. Now, a GPS like a TomTom for a car will not work for this because you have to be able to put in your coordinates. If you do not have a GPS, don't worry, there's another option. Use a smartphone. You can download an app from geocaching.com and look in your app store, and you can download an app that can access profile, download the coordinates, and your smartphone will use the GPS to take you right to it. Compass, everything is beautiful. The downside to the free app from geocaching.com is you can only find difficulty 1 caches. It won't let you do anything else. It's a big disadvantage. To do anything more, you have to become a premium member. I disagree with that. But that's the way it goes. They've got to make money to pay for the site. Now, premium membership doesn't cost that much. It's $29.99 for a year membership. That money goes to help keep the site up and keep all the newsletters and everything and pay for all the stuff and the server time, all of it. But there's another way around it. There's another app called C::Geo, which you can access all the caches for free, and it does the exact same thing on your smartphone. And the smartphone works just as well as a handheld GPS. Personally, this is just my personal thing, I prefer a handheld GPS. It's just so much better in my opinion. I've used the smartphone before, and it's great. But I don't know, something about the handheld GPS. Now, you might say, okay, I've gone on the website, I filled it out, I've downloaded the app, there's a cache run, what do I do? So, the GPS coordinates will take you to a location where your nearest cache is. On the description, I'll tell you what the cache is about, what it might be, or clues how to find it. Your job to go find it. Then, you find the container, and inside, you will find usually a plastic bag with a log in it. Just like this. You write down your profile name and the date you found it. Then you go back on to geocaching.com, click on that and say log find, and that gives you a find. Then you go find the next one. Now, the small geocaches usually do not have any room for any, what we call geo swag. Now that's next. The nanos definitely only have a log. Always bring your own writing utensil. But the smaller, or the larger caches, the larger you go, you'll find what's called geo swag. These are little trinkets, usually from a dollar store. Sometimes more, sometimes not. Here's a little lizard, coin, eraser. And the rule is, if you want something, let's say, I want this eraser, I can take it, but I have to put something back of equal or greater value. And that's all there is to it. So you want something? Take it. Put something in there to trade. Something of equal or greater value. Log your find. Write down on your log. You get home. Or right from your smartphone, you should be able to log it right there. Go on, say you found it. Go find the next one. Geocaches can take you to amazing places. Sometimes they're just at a lamppost at a Walmart. Other times they're at historical markers or parks that you never knew existed. There are amazing places and amazing things, and the thrill of it is just finding the geocache. and especially when it takes you certain places. Now, I've shown you a couple caches here, but there's more to it than that. There's what's called a multi-cache. A multi-cache is where you find a cache. So I go and find a container, and then inside it gives me coordinates to another container. There's no log in here, just coordinates. So I put those coordinates into your smartphone, into your GPS. They take you to the next site. Sometimes that will be the final stage and you'll find your logbook, and that's where you sign it. You just found a multi-cache. Sometimes that cache will take you to another cache, and then maybe another, and then another. You have to keep going all the way to the end until you find that last stage where the logbook is. Then you can go back and say you found that multi-cache. But you cannot say you found a cache without writing in the logbook. That is the requirement. Otherwise, the cache has not been found. Then with that, there are different types of multi-caches. There's different types of caches. There's gadget caches, which require you to do something at a cache site. One of my caches is a multi-cache. It's a puzzle cache requiring you to solve a puzzle. Check out this clip. So this cache is called a puzzle cache. It is a multi-cache, meaning you have to do something. You have to find the first cache to be able to find the next cache, and possibly the next and the next. This one only has 2 stages, the main stage and the second stage. Now this cache, as I said, is a puzzle cache. First thing we have to do is find the cache. And if we look, we find a nice ammo can right here. That's the first stage of the cache. Well, finding it's not hard, so it must be easy to find the next one. It's locked to the tree, so obviously we can't remove it. There. And right off the bat, we notice some writing right here on the lid. And it says, to solve the puzzle, pull plastic puzzle cube out of wood cradle by sliding your fingers under the wood cradle and push up. Plastic cube slides easily out. Turn puzzle over and move metal ball until you reach the finish. Make sure the ball is in the switch and slide the switch in the direction of the red arrow. Plastic hatch will open and you can remove your next clue. And then we also notice we have some other paperwork in here. Do not remove puzzle cube from cache. Thank you. And then it tells you, geocache site. Congratulations, you found it intentionally or not. And it goes in to talk about it. Now, as I said, move it here. And if you'll notice, it's got a cube, see-through cube here, with a ball. And it says we start right here, and you got to move the ball all the way to the end. And then it'll open this piece right here, which we can get our coordinates from inside. And the coordinates take us to the next cache. And it asks you a little question in there as well. So, say we solved the cache, and then we put it back the way we found it, always. So we solved the puzzle, and it gave us the coordinates for this cache. We're about a half mile away from the first one. And it asks us a question. Now we come down here, we know it's going to lock on it. We can't get in. Well, we answer that question, that gives us the code. Enter that code, and it unlocks for us. We open it and peer inside. And you see, it's got a lot of little trinkets. What we call geo swag. Cocopelli. great. And then here, the all-important logbook. Plastic bag to keep it water out of it. Open up the logbook. This is everybody that's found it. Last person to find it was 7/30/16. Almost 2 months exactly. Well, 2.5 months. The camera can't focus on that, I apologize, but so when you find the cache, you always log it. And then make sure you reseal the bag so the log does not get wet. Put it back in the cache. And as I explained before, if you take something, always put something back of equal or lesser value. And always, always return the cache to how you found it. Or better. Now that was one of my multi-caches. Like I said, different caches have different things. How about we check out a cache just exactly like this that's been out there for years. Check out this clip. So here's another cache of mine. Coordinates take you to this place. And we remove this rock. And there's the cache. And of course, see if I can get it open. This cache is years old, been out here in the rain. Let me set the camera down. So, open up the cache. First thing we have in here is the log. And here's all the little trinkets, or geoswag. Someone did a series. It's a ram. Camera really cannot focus up close. Little cat. I'm sorry about the focus. Nothing I can do. An earring. But, like I said, the all-important log in the bag. And as always, replace it the way you found it. Now, not all caches are easy to find. Some are containers like I've shown you. This might be hidden underneath something metal and you gotta feel for it. Maybe it's something easy to find. Maybe it's not. Here's another one of my caches for you to look at, and shows you how different it can be. This cache is a bit different. It's another one of mine, and it's on a generator box. Did you spot it? I bet you did. Didn't even know it. Here's our log right there. Just a little magnetic switch plate. That's a pretty different cache, wasn't it? It's one of my favorites, actually. There's also caches out there that are like a bolt. Looks exactly like a bolt. It's magnetic, sticks to whatever. You just pull it off, you unscrew it, and your log's inside. There's hidden rocks. There's all kinds of things. A gadget cache is a cache that gives you, maybe it's a box that has a light bulb in it and wires, and you've got to hook it up. to be able to access another thing. Those are really neat caches. The most common type of cache, however, is just your standard container. And it could be a lock and lock like this. It could be anything. The most common, again, is a pill bottle or a 35mm film canister. Sometimes they have swag in them, sometimes they don't. The bigger caches almost always have swag. The smaller ones don't. So, go to www.geocaching.com, check out the site, download the app if you like, go out, geocache. Go find some amazing places. And if you like it, you enjoy it, hide some of your own for other people to find. As I said, there are almost 2 million geocaches hidden worldwide on all 7 continents, including Antarctica. Think about that. Antarctica. And there are geocaches there. How many can you find? How many do you want to find? And where can this adventure take you? Everybody knows about the Pokemon craze. It's all fine and dandy, but you're not finding anything. You're just playing on a cell phone. Don't get me wrong. Don't want to get any haters out there. But a geocache, you actually have to go look for something. And a geocache will take you places where you've never even dreamed of being. You didn't even know. You might have lived in a specific area your entire life, and your geocaching will take you to some place you didn't even know existed. Think about that. Think of the possibilities. Real quick, I wanted to point out my t-shirt that I'm wearing. If you haven't been able to read it yet, I'll read it for you. It says, "I use multi-million-dollar satellites to find Tupperware in the woods. What's your hobby?" Welcome to geocaching. Hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching.